Well, hello.
Hello, God Slayers.
Hello.
Welcome
Hi,
in, welcome in,
everybody.
welcome in. I hope everybody's having an excellent Sunday. Thank you so much for coming to our gaming live panel. This panel is called Fat Babes Kill God, and we will be talking about the creation of Death to Divinity, which is our D&D 5e actual play. It is the first all-fat, all-queer D&D actual play show. Gaming Live, presented by Ally and the Community Zone, is sponsored by Devolver Digital, and we are so grateful to both of them for their support in making this happen. At the end of the panel, we will also have some room for y'all to be asking questions. So chat, think about anything that is burning in your mind that you want our cast to tell you about. My name is Sam. I'll be moderating this panel today. My pronouns are she, they, and I play the incredibly messy halfling assassin Brine on Death to Divinity. Katie May, you want to take it from there?
Sure, I can do that. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie May. My pronouns are she, they, and I am also known as KM the DM because I am the lovely dungeon master of Death to Divinity. Do you want me to pass it on to someone? All right, Molly, I trust you with my life.
You shouldn't. I'm Molly. I play Gideon Osmond, also she, they. I am she, they as well. Yeah, the equally messy. I don't know who's the messiest. Maybe Brian beats me. But we're both pretty up there. So I'm going to pass it to someone who has it more together. Lyrica.
Oh, how dare you? Hi, my name is Lyrica. I play Current. Both of our pronouns are they, she. And yeah, I am apparently I have it a little more to get. I don't know, Gideon.
Yeah, I think Kern has it more together than Gideon for sure.
Oh, absolutely 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, I play Current, who is a Hurricane Genasi and has an affinity for turning into sharks. And with that, I will pass it on to Nico.
Hello, my name's my name's Nico. My pronouns are they, she. I play Captain Ulizair. Their pronouns are they, them. They are a Triton Paladin of the Magistrate, and they like to fuck shit up and look hot. Pretty much it. All right, I'll pass it to Kita.
Hello, my name is Kita and I play Winona. Both of our pronouns are she, her. And Winona is a half-elf barbarian from the Weeds. And she slays with her double-wielded axe, and it's great.
Awesome. Thank you for introducing yourself, panelists. Anybody in chat who doesn't know us, that's who we are, and that's our thing. So we're going to jump right into some questions and answers, everybody. How does that feel? Feel good?
I've been studying like I've been studying for the SAT, so I hope it's enough.
Okay, so I'll be looking for your vocab points then during this question and answer session. Katie,
my answers will be expeditiously given.
Excellent. Can't wait. All right. So first and foremost, since we are the first all-fat, all-queer D&D actual play show, how has joining Death Divinity changed your relationship with fatness and or queerness? I would really love to hear, especially from Kita, about this.
It's been very liberating, to be honest. You know, originally when I thought about like, you know, D&D and who plays D&D, you always kind of think of like certain like characters and like, you know, either really buff or like really thin fairies or X, Y, and Z. And I never, I guess, really gave myself the thought or the agency to like, you know, put myself and my body into a campaign. So when I joined this amazing cast with like all amazing fat babes and like just our bodies just existing, you know, as they are, and being able to like hold our own and be tough and fierce and stand up for ourselves and do all these amazing adventures just as our bodies. Like it's been really transformative personally for me and how I view myself. I know that joining the cast of D2D has definitely helped me boost my confidence like outside of the game as well.
Yeah, if I can just jump in freely. I don't know how strict this is, but
Jump in whenever you want. Absolutely.
Water's
I love
fine.
talking. I had been playing D&D for years before this and it had literally never crossed my mind to make a PC with a body type like mine. Which is like so sad. It was like real world like restrictions I was putting on myself that I was then also putting on myself in D&D that I didn't need to do in either place, right? Like it just so when we started this, it was so exciting to like see character art too, and have the character artist be like, can you send me like a full body selfie of you to reference this? And I was like, well, me, you're a cool character. And now that feels so much more natural after playing in this campaign for a year. I want other people to feel this way too, because it's just nice to not.
Yeah, because I
it's
mean,
nice to see yourself.
no, I agree, because I don't know, I don't want to speak for any of you, but especially when I was younger and growing up and coming to terms to my relationship with fatness, I think that many young kids who are fat, when they picture themselves in 5-10 years, they picture themselves as thin, right? Because they say like, this is a thing that I won't be a part of me anymore. And so it is the same sort of radicalization in that you picture yourself in 5-10 years fat, because that's a part of you, as being able to envision this part of fantasy that is also fat, right? That you're not ascribing negativity to fatness, that you're embracing it and celebrating it. And especially since like disability and fatness are so often tied with inability to have these characters be able to save the world, is an act of reclamation in itself.
Amen.
Absolutely. And I think too, especially since this was my first instance, not only doing like a long campaign, but just doing a campaign at all. I was very, very new to the TTRPG scene, and just the concept of we get to build this story around us, instead of how do I fit my character, how do I fit what I want into this situation, which is oftentimes uninviting for people who live within the intersectionality of being fat and being queer. How do I make myself fit into their world, instead of our entire world is built around this in a way that is safe, in a way that celebrates us, and has made me a vastly different person as far as TTRPG and as far as dealing with my own queerness and fatness is concerned, which is something that I never would have imagined could come out of TTRPG, and that is coupled with the fact that I was so new, plus just how the TTRPG world can be, and so making that space was just very life altering in those aspects.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I know that this has been so empowering for me, especially just from the perspective that Molly brought up, that as somebody who's been playing D&D for several years, it never occurred to me that I could make a fat character. And it never occurred to me that I could play a fat character, even as I've been moving through like fat liberation and body neutrality spaces for longer than I've been playing D&D, if that makes sense. So as far as the relationship between fatness and queerness as it pertains to tabletop, we sort of exist at this intersection of being both fat and queer in real life, and also playing fat and queer characters in a fantasy setting. So what future would y'all want to see for that relationship between fatness, queerness, and fantasy? Nico, is there any thoughts you have on this?
Yeah, like hopefully, like this is how I felt when I first joined you all. Because I always admired what everything that you all have done since you all started in July 2021, and like now that I started being part of the cast, I was just like, damn, like I feel so seen and represented by not only being part of it, but from what you all have done, within the TTRPG space and just like D&D. Um, but yeah, like I just hope like in the future I would love to see more like fat bodies, fat characters, being represented out there. And hopefully like out there in the mainstream media where we're not seen as villains, or maybe we can be, but like, people always like demonize us as something that is bad, or as like, something that, we're not being accepted. And so hopefully in the future we can, change that, So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I always say that it was, I was 21 when my childhood game store, I first saw another woman in it for the first time. I was 21, right? I've been going there. My dad taught me how to play D&D when I was in 6th grade. I didn't sit at another table with someone who is not a man until college. And when I had that, when I had that feeling of sitting with a table with no men at it, I was like, wow, this is a reckoning. And then I did that with a table that was queer. And I was like, wow, that's a reckoning. And then I sat at a table that was all fat and all queer. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Oh my God, my life has changed, right? It was such a cataclysmic event in my life to have just this like shared hope for the future come to life as a piece of art that we all made together, right? You know, I agree with Nico. I think that we need to see more fat, like I need to open more D&D books and see more fat and queer people inside of it, right? I want to open more D&D books, and I know that this is problematic of me. I want to see more evil fat and queer people inside of it that are not evil because they're fat or queer. But that's because I love playing villains. I'm the dungeon master, right? That I'm willing to admit that bias, right? But it was such a reckoning for me that all I want is the paths to that reckoning to be as clear for young people, young queer and fat people starting in this hobby as possible. And that is often through visibility. So.
Yeah, I just felt so safe the first time I met with everyone and whenever I play with you all. Because, like, I have experienced fat phobia at the table before. You know, I know Katie May has too. I remember a specific session where Katie May was like, hey, player, will you describe this evil NPC? And they're like, the player immediately was like, they're unhealthy and fat. And that's like, and you know, they didn't quite say it like that. Because they weren't a cartoon Muppet villain. But that was it. You know, that was their first, like, oh, evil? Okay, fat. And I agree, I do want more fat evil characters, but not that kind where they are evil because they are fat.
Give us more Ursulas, right? Give us more characters who are evil and then they are also fat, and those things they're not combined. It's not because one or the other. More of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just really nice to feel safe at a table in that way. And that reckoning feeling was also just incredible. And I just feel if we saw more of that in books and in media, it wouldn't be so rare to have that, right? Like it wouldn't feel like, oh, this like once in a lifetime chance to feel safe. I don't want it to be a once in a lifetime chance to feel safe. I'd like everyone to feel that way all the time, which I hope to achieve at some point.
Right. Like I watched A League of Their Own that just premiered on Amazon Prime that was all about just like queerness, right? From the very beginning, and intersectional queerness, which was so fucking important, right? And I kept having this thought that it was like, man, if I saw this sooner, man, if I saw this sooner. And I fully recognize that there are community members who said, hey, I saw this soon enough. And they're talking about our show, right? For it to be a reckoning that our community can go through together is also so meaningful.
Absolutely. And I think like just to bank off of that, and also what Molly said too, it's like I want this of course like my ultimate dream would be like to see, you know, not just us, but the other like really large TTRPGs have this notion to where this is okay, this is acceptable, where there it's not even a second thought to pull up that chair and say this is the space for you. I would love for it to, you know, one day be a thing where like it you don't have all these people going, oh, I never realized that I could be myself at the table. It's just you have that right to be yourself. And yeah, that it's not a once in a great while thing, because the reality of it is there are so many fat and queer people that are part of TTRPG that are already telling their stories, but are having to do it in a way that fits this kind of mold that doesn't need to be there. And so my hope would be that we see many more tables that are fat and queer and celebrating those things, and people that get to be characters in themselves exactly the way they want to be in this fantasy setting. Because we don't hold those same constraints over other things within fantasy. So why is it that that has to be something that comes down, you know, for being fat and queer in fantasy? So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
that's my goal.
we're always proud to say that we're the first all fat, all queer, but I think we always get sad when we have to say only, right? Like it's always such a like, oh,
Yeah.
one day.
And on that note, if you want to do a fat and queer D&D show, please do it. Like we want to be creating and carving that space. At least I think we want to be creating and carving that space within the TTRPG scene, within the streaming culture, to allow for there to be so many more things that are just like this, right? And I think that that's really important, and it's something that I want to see in the future. You know, I want to be able to go to twitch.tv or to YouTube or to, I don't know, network television and turn on something and know that I'm going to be watching something that is solely focused on the experiences of fat and queer folks, because that's so important to me. So Molly, you mentioned this a little bit, and I think we've all touched on it in our own ways, just about starting the journey of this show, entering into this space felt so different. You know, Katie May described it as a reckoning. So, Lyrica, can you just start us off with sort of talking about what we've learned from each other during our 2-season journey on Death's Divinity?
Oh, there's been so much. It's been, especially for me personally, as in, you know, like when I came into this, not only was I, you know, learning about this amazing new world that Cam was creating for us and all of these things, I was also learning like the mechanics of how to roll dice and what it, you know, putting all of those things together. So to be able to do that, like, I guess one of the main things I would point back to is like our safety tools. Cam has created such a safe place for us to be able to exist within this world in a way that not only, you know, uplifts our characters, but also uplifts us as people. And I just had no idea that that is what TTRPG could be. And of course, like in the limited things that I've done, I've experienced other safety tools in the past, but to have a campaign that is so centered around making sure that we get to not only tell our story, but do it in a way that also takes into consideration us, the people as humans behind those characters, was just so beyond. And I mean, it even goes beyond that, right? It's like, you know, checking in to make sure that things are okay. It's asking us, you know, what do you really want out of this character? Where do you want to see this development go? And I think that for me, and doing that and saying as a fat queer person, where do you want this to go? And I feel like that was just so special. And it allowed me to really develop this character that in the beginning I had no idea where they were going to go or what was going to happen. And there's never been a point in this journey where I have felt that I can't come to somebody within our cast, within our production, where I can't come to Cam and be like, hey, you know, I don't really know how this works, or I'm feeling this way. How does this go? There's never been a moment where I felt that I can't do that. And I think that that's so special, because I've seen, you know, other tables and other things where um, people don't really feel like they have the ability to do that, or where sometimes story moments come at the expense of the people behind the character. And I think just to have a space where I've not once ever felt like I don't have the room to speak up and say, you know, hey, this is uncomfortable, or hey, I don't understand this, is absolutely huge and needs to exist at every single table all the time.
Yeah, I'm DMing a game offline for some friends of mine, and it's a very similar party to this. Lots of gay folks, you know, like, and it's so nice to have those safety tools and take everything I've learned from Katie May as a DM, who has DM'd for me for years, and playing with this cast and that feeling of trust and that safety, and being able to like give it to other people. And then I hope that one day, you know, one of my players is brand new, and I, you know, pulled up that exact same safety tool sheet, and we went through it, and I was like, this might seem a little scary, but like, you know, because it was our very first time playing D&D, and I was like, what will terrify you? But like, we have to go through that. It's necessary so that we all feel safe at the table and all the players have access to that. They can update it at any time. It's anonymous. So if you feel uncomfortable sharing what certain things make you uncomfortable, you don't have to worry about that. You can just check, hey, this isn't cool, and you'll know that you won't have to deal with that in a game. Being able to take that from this experience and give it to others, and I hope they will also use it themselves, is an incredible gift. And I could see like it was nice for them to go through that and know like, okay, I won't have to deal with these like traumatizing topics in this game. Because not everyone can say that when playing D&D. And to me, like, I can't imagine that. That's, you know, it's so nice to feel that safety. with this group.
Yeah, like I truly learned the definition of community care for meeting all of you and like getting to know you and just showing like, you know, how much like we care about each other like at the table, but also offline as well. Just the like just the realm of support that we've all built around each other, especially this past year, has been like nothing short of like beautiful and like reaffirming in like so many different ways. Like now, like the D2D cast are some of the first people I come to when I'm going through things, because we've just like, you know, built that level of trust and community. And especially like, you know, growing up a fat kid and never really having, I guess, that sense of like stability within like friend groups. I don't know how to explain it. But I think just to have, especially like having a group of friends that is just all like fat babes that can all relate to each other in so many different ways. Like it's just so, it's life changing. And it really has leveled up how I look at my other friendships offline as well, or not even like offline, but just like in life, like thinking about how I've been treated by these amazing people and like what friendship and like care truly looks like. So it's not even just, you know, all of us having this incredible synergy at the table. It's also like the beautiful friendships that we've made that I'm going to have for the rest of my life.
Hell yeah, Kita. Oh, sorry. Can I also like talk about how like I was first just a God Slayer, you know, in part of the community, right? And I mentioned this before, like how when I am a new cast member, but like when you know, just watching y'all, just creating like in the community, just creating a safe space for someone like me. And then I was so scared at first because like I know y'all um accepting me as you know the newest cast member. I felt so scared, but like you all already made a community that's already accepting and loving, and like having to be a part of the cast, it felt the same way. Like I was just being part of family. So I don't know, I just want to say thank you all. Y'all are just amazing and I love you all very much.
Yeah, I think something that I've said to my partners recently is just that being in any kind of relationship with another person who is fat and queer, there's so much translation that doesn't have to happen. There's so much explaining that doesn't have to happen, right? And so you're kind of able to step away from the like emotional labor of being like, this is what I'm going through and it sucks and you haven't experienced that and I don't know how to explain it to you. While also keeping in mind the various nuances of like diet culture and like how society pits all of us against our own bodies, right? And when you're in a community like the Death Divinity one, it's so safe because you can just show up and be like, hey, here's what's happening. Does anybody have the capacity to talk about this? And there's almost always guaranteed going to be somebody who's going to step up and say, hey, yeah, I've got 5 minutes. I've got an hour. What do you need? Do you want to play games? Do you want to talk about it? Like what's going to be the best fit? And that's just so, so lovely. And I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, Katie Mae, did you want to add anything to that before we move forward?
No, I just love my players, right? Like, you know, the storytelling is such an act of vulnerability, right? Because you're telling someone, yeah, like this is the story I'd like to tell. Would you like to tell it with me? And that's such a scary thing to ask someone, right? It's like, will you take my hand for this dance? Right. And so it's so nice to have that. You deserve that. If I can tell Chad, like, you deserve that. You deserve for it to be enthusiastic and not a concession, and you deserve to be yourself in your wildest fantasies. That's so important to me.
100%. So we actually have been teasing some announcements for a little while, and I think it might actually be time for us to tell everybody what we've been teasing. How y'all feel about that? Does that feel like the right
Feel
move?
perfect about that.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Good.
Let's go.
I think it's time for us to give the people what we want. So we're gonna pull up some beautiful little graphics made by our DM Katie Mae and Kita. You want to get us started?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I get to announce this. But some of you may remember our executive executive producer Julian, playing Prince Kalen Asirov in a special one-shot during the spring. And we're really excited to welcome him to our core cast of D&D for D2D for season 3. I'm so excited.
Let's go!
Congratulations, Julian. I'm so excited to have you as part of the
Julian, we love
cast.
you. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we love Julian so much. Julian is like just incredible. Stepped into our executive producer role and just knocked it out of the park. Has also been one of our main moderators for the majority, well, for all of season 2. I don't know why I'm saying the majority. And now we get to actually play with him. And as the person who was in that one shot with him, I'm just, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. Julian's great. Kalen is fantastic, and I cannot wait for y'all to hang out with him even more. I'm going to hand the mic off to Katie May now because we have yet another announcement to make.
Yes, that's true. You've been waiting all this time. And I'm here to tell you, we finally have a date for this upcoming fall, season 3 of Death to Divinity, the penultimate one, the second to, this is a 4-season arc, second to last. We're going to Ampara's little party. Yes, that's true. On Saturday, October 22nd at 8:30 p.m. Get your bones ready. Assemble your bones. Put them into your body. You will need them, and then I will steal them. October 22nd, it's all going down. I hope you're getting ready, because Ampara's been getting ready. So that's all I got to say about that.
The way that I just got chills all over my whole body at you saying Ampara's getting ready, I'm so scared.
I am terrified.
Oh my god.
I'm like in the woods. That's where my people.
Yeah, my character ended season 2 in Ampara's secret dungeon. So that's probably fine. Like, that'll probably be fine, right?
I
Like,
got a kiss
fine.
from the fairy.
Also, this full body Kalen art, can we just take a moment to
Yeah.
spill
Oh,
your
I
beans?
love that. Ooh.
yeah, our
I'm
incredible...
not immune.
Wait,
I'll
what,
say
Molly?
I'm not
so
immune.
sorry.
I'm not immune to Kaylin. That's all I was gonna say.
No, I don't
I'm
think
not
any of
immune.
us
None of
are.
us are.
The thing
How
about
could you
D&D
be?
is that
How
all
could
of our
you be?
characters are so hot, and then Katie
Love
May just keeps
Kaylin.
producing hotter and hotter NPCs, and it's so much. But big thanks to Mackenzie, our season 2 and now season 3 artist, for producing this gorgeous full body art of Kaylin. We love Mackenzie. You can follow Mackenzie over at Blue Witching, which is highly recommend, because all of her art is just, it's perfect. It's stunning. It's everything. It's everything you want it to be and more. So I'm just gonna show off one more little ditty, which is just that can we talk about how beautiful this cast looks together? Look at these characters.
Oh,
Look at them.
And they're
so
all
hot.
fat.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
Mm.
It's just like you just to see complete fantasy art of fat, like, heroes who are fat in different ways. Right? It's not just like a copy paste of one body type. To have an artist who like knows fat bodies and what they're doing, which is incredible, be able to really help this vision come to life was just such a reckoning for us just to see that image. And I'm just, the Kaylin is healed. Everything is healed now.
Which I also just want to add, in addition to this art that we have by Mackenzie at Blue Witching, our season 1 art, which can be seen on our wiki page, which I think you can just Google Death to Divinity Wiki and it'll come right up. Our season 1 art was actually by the incredible Zaneel, Zaneel, and we also love Zaneel. That art is also stunning. It's really important to us to be able to lift up other fat and queer creatives, and so the ability to do that through this show has just been so wonderful. So so those are our big announcements. I did initially tease 3 announcements to our audience, and I'm gonna keep y'all in suspense just a little bit. But what I will tell you is that in addition to returning on October 22nd for our season 3 premiere, we will also be debuting something very special in October, which is a collaboration with our beloved show sponsor, Die Hard Dice. So,
And if you don't know Die Hard Dice, they're the ones who sent us the handmade D20s that were related to each of us and our characters, you can see my beautiful DM dice is in this precious little orb that I'm not obsessed with at all. But yeah, so just get excited. That's all I gotta say.
And keep an eye on both our social media and our Discord for the details about that. But with that under wraps, well, out of wraps, I guess we've done it. We've revealed it. We've stopped keeping the two big secrets that we've all been like screaming about in our private Discord. So we've got a few minutes left. I would love to grab some questions from chat. If there's anything that y'all want to ask the cast about, anything y'all, I'm a cast member, but also as the moderator of this panel. If there's anything that you want to ask, please throw it in chat right now, and we can go ahead and answer those things for you.
I dare you to rip your eyes from the new Kaylin art for just a moment, for just a single moment. I'm excited to answer some questions. I'm also we got him started. Let's go, moderator, take it away.
So the first question is from one of our moderators and community members, Liza. So what are you most looking forward to for season 3?
Living.
Murder.
Oh my god!
My god.
I gotta go.
Those things directly contradict, and like I said, I'm so afraid. Oh no!
Oh Jesus Christ!
Brian is constantly on thin ice. Like she's like this close. I feel like Brian is constantly just like dancing with death in every single episode. And so I do hope that I live through season 3. But if I don't, it's okay. It's all right. I'll make a new character. I have one in my back pocket. It's not Shade. That's really all that matters.
Oh dang! I was gonna say the Shade
It's neither Shade 1 nor Shade 2.
or Blade.
Or Blade.
Jade
I know
Blade.
this doesn't make sense to new folks. It will if you watch the show. Don't worry about it. Okay, so Lyric's looking forward to living. I'm looking forward to hopefully living. Molly, what are you most looking forward to?
Living up to the death and death to divinity. I'd like to kill God. I would
True.
like you invite me to your dinner party.
Panel, Fat Babes Kill God. Yes.
Maybe not that
Yeah.
smart. I'm just saying maybe you shouldn't invite someone that wants to kill you to your dinner party.
All right. So we've got a couple more questions. I'm going to go ahead. But Nico and Kita, is there anything you want to add to our what we're looking forward to season 3?
I think for Winona, what happened at the end of season 2 for her is going to be a very big, self-reflection, reckoning kind of moment for her. So I'm very excited to see how both me and Winona figure that out next season.
I think Ula just wants to see if they have parents or not. If they got family or anything.
The
you know?
tagline of season 3 is Ula an orphan?
Oh my god! They are!
Oh god. All right. So our next question is from Mustache Babs. We also love Babs. Babs is great. So Babs is actually one of the reasons that I started playing D&D. So full circle. I love that. So we've talked about urging others to start their own diverse games. But if we had to list top 3 tips to do so, what would we want somebody to know? I think this is a great question for Katie May to answer.
1, talk to the people who you think are out of your league. Okay, that's the first one. Shoot your shot. Always. Rule, shoot your shot. There were some of people who are in this thing who I considered shooting my shot. I had the biggest Twitter crush on Kita before starting the show.
Same.
Oh my god.
Big same.
Oh my god. So 1, shoot your shot. 3, you are 2, I'm concussed. It's fine. 2, you are allowed to meet your own metric for good over time. Do not have it at the expectation that you will have it when you start. And 3, the audience, if you're making it for you're hoping people will watch it, there's the contingency here. They can tell when you put your heart on the line, so do it every time.
Those were great responses. I love that. Our next question, also from Liza. What are some of our dark horse heart of hearts relationships on the show? I'm going to say straight up, my number 1 always is going to be Winona and Karina. And I'll let Kita take it from there.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry, what?
Winona and Karina. That's my dark horse ship. At the end of
Warina?
the day, if I'm writing fan fiction for Death to Divinity about a non-canon ship, it's going to be Winona and Karina every time. And this is where Kita unfriends me, actually, and we have a whole arc in season 3.
I don't know. Karina singing me show tunes every morning. I'm gonna
While
wake
she
up.
makes me breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fine.
I'll say mine in front of God. Yaldek and Corvin.
I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like
Ollie,
that.
I know you have dark horse ships. What are your dark horse ships?
I'm forgetting them all now. What were my dark horse ships? I mean,
Shade 1 and Shade 2.
Shade 1 and Shade 2.
Sure.
Oh, no.
Nikki and Current. I'll say it.
That's a good one.
You know what?
I actually like them together, though.
I need someone to be a good influence for her that's not just me. Okay? I need help.
Listen, Current is digging what you're putting down. Yes.
Let's go.
Katie May's
Yes.
taking notes in the
Let's
corner.
go.
Yeah, I'm taking those damn notes.
Also, the curse of curses. I'm just gonna say it. Provolone and Shade.
Wait, I think that's really cute.
Oh!
I was gonna say Crovalone and Gideon.
Also very good. Yes. Also incredibly important. Oh my goodness.
Also, wait, can I say one
Oh my god,
ship that I
please,
kind of
please
want?
do.
Will and Brian. I'm just gonna say it. I said it.
We love a little enemies to lovers arc.
I
want that.
no.
I
mean,
can't say I haven't thought about it.
I thought about it many of times,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? What if? May never. Who knows?
We just
You just have to keep watching.
You just never know.
Mm.
So I'm actually going to jump to our next question really quick because I think it is pertinent to this discussion. Katie May, can you tell us if Karina is returning in season 3?
Will
God damn
Karina
it.
be returning in season 3? Bet your bottom dollar on tomorrow. Yep.
I assume
So-
we don't get to know what's going on with her.
She has to finish her run on Funny Girl, but then she'll be back just in time for her and her literacy classes, but then she'll be here just in time for season 3 of Death to Divinity. So
Perfect. So building off of our dark horse ships and also of course our concern about Karina returning from her Broadway run in Funny Girl, what relationships are you most looking forward to exploring more in season 3? I'm actually going to start this one off. The relationship that I want to see explored more in season 3 is the relationship between Kaylin and Gideon. I need
Me
to know.
too.
Yeah, I need to know how that
Oh.
goes.
Mhm.
For sure. And all of us experienced such major character shifts at the end of season 2. So Lyrica, I feel like you're a great one to ask this question of.
Look, I don't even know how do I, because it's like I can say what I would like to see, but I have no idea what's going to happen. Like I have the point where we left off. I don't know. Like I don't want to give spoilers to who, but listen, I can't. What happened to Current at the end of season 2 has, I think, made Current a completely different person for season 3.
In all senses of the word.
In all senses of the word. And like me as the person behind Current, I know that there's things that I can't wait to figure out, like, shrimp gun, other side, things, like what, but it terrifies me as the player for Current, because Current has no idea. So I'm excited to watch this unfold for Current and see what path they're going to have to take, because there's going to be decisions that have to be made. And yeah, it's saucy.
yeah, I definitely think that the relationship I'm most looking forward to is Ula's relationship with the crumbling monarchy and the core.
Yeah, well, Well, yeah, that's I think a lot of people are gonna be mad.
But some people are going to be happy.
Yeah.
In
Well,
the-
we'll see,
in-
right?
See, the thing about these questions, y'all, is that we're so afraid to answer them because Katie May takes
Mhm.
notes about everything that we say. And so the second that you're like, I really
Mhm.
want to see what happens with this character, that character is very likely going to the top of the hit list. You know what I mean?
Then they're harpooned.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
there's not even a
The,
body.
oh,
I can't
speaking
handle that a
of,
second time.
I want to know what's going to happen between some spoiler characters that we can't talk about from the end of season 2 and some of our player characters. That's I'm going to leave that there. And then our final question from our audience is actually from our beloved artist Mac at Blue Witching. Mac! If we had to swap genres, what would we pick?
Horror.
Absolutely 100% a rom-com every time.
Oh, that's also good.
Molly, what were you gonna say?
I yelled horror. I always want horror. The game
Horror,
I'm DMing
yeah.
is very horror themed. I love horror, and I love Feywild horror.
Yes.
Especially, and cosmic horror as the scale of the stakes gets bigger and bigger in the game. I love unknowable entities out there in the void. I want them in every game I play. They are my favorite. And I also love Fey horror and Shadowfell and scary bright color. I don't know. I love it all. But rom-coms are also very good and fit with our show.
Yeah, I kind of have a tie between two. The first of which is kind of like a Christian Bale, Thor: Love and Thunder, multiverse of madness, sort of like heroic, but like we can finally do the dark stuff, right? Kind of that pocket, or also Riverdale.
KM. Of course. Riverdale.
No, absolutely. If I can get like a mix of like horror and like Regency or like Fey Regency, like okay, I'm sorry, but
Ooh.
Fey and Flower has such a hold on my life right now. So I like
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
spooky, like just horror-filled Fey, but in like this way that shows the beauty of Fey as well. Oh my gosh, please.
Delicious.
So good, so good, so good. Kita, Nico, did y'all want to add a genre to that list? I feel like we explore all of these things in the show already.
I was
So
about to say, like,
yeah.
y'all said it all for me personally.
All right.
Agreed.
Thank you so much for coming to this incredible panel, everybody. We really appreciate it. And those questions were excellent. I'm going to be stewing on some of those for a little while, probably until our season 3 premiere. But so thank you again for those questions. My name is Sam. My pronouns are she, they. I play Brian in Death to Divinity, and you can follow me over on Twitter at The Verbal Thing. I'm going to hand this off to Katie May once again.
Hi, I'm Katie May, also known as KM the DM. I'm so excited to see some of you for season 3. I hope we see more of you than we have before. You're welcome. You can get caught up over on our YouTube channel in the off season. In the meantime, we also have some recap documents floating around, so keep an eye on our Twitter for those. Again, very excited about the announcement of Julian. If you want to find me, you can find me at OKKatieMay, both on Twitch where we do the show and on Twitter. Pass it off to Lyrica.
Hi, so I'm Lyrica. My pronouns are they, she, and once again, I play Current, whose pronouns are also they, she. And when I'm not throwing dice with these wonderfully amazing people you see in front of you, you can catch me on twitch.tv/lookatlyrica. And I'll hand it on over to Molly.
Hello, I've been Molly. I play Gideon. Both of our pronouns are she, they. You can find me over at Bearzerky on Twitter. I tweet. I'm also the writer's assistant for Titans on HBO Max. So if you're looking for a superhero show to watch, check that one out. Because we have a new season coming out soon that I am very excited for.
Who are you handing off to, Molly?
Kita.
Hello, my name is Kita. My pronouns are she, her. And you can find me on most, if not all, social channels that I have at Kita Palooza. Yay. And Nico.
Hello there. My name is Nico. My pronouns are they, she. I play Ula, or Captain Ulazer, who is a Triton Paladin of the Magistrate. Their pronouns are they, them. You can find me everywhere with Nico Malaon, Malaon. Everywhere on Twitch and Twitter. So, yeah.
And then if you want to follow our newest castmate, Julian, they are available. He is available over at _Juliancito, JULIANCITO. You can also just follow us on Twitter at Death2Divinity. There's a little underscore at the end, and we'll have all of our handles and stuff up there shortly after this. So thanks so much for watching this panel. Thank you, Gaming Magazine, for having us. Thank you so much, Ally and Devolver Digital, for sponsoring this session. If you want to check it out, if you want to check out what else is happening across Gaming Live, visit gaming.live and make sure that you follow at Gaming Mag on all social media. I hope y'all have a great day, and we will see you on October 22nd. Bye, everybody.